Hello, good morning here from Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. My name is Mark, and this video is going to be about this step-down transformer. And it's a 2-to-1 step-down, rated for 230 volts to 115, but I got a little over 240 volts going into it. And it's running this 25-watt light bulb at 120 volts. So that's why right away I'll make the current measurements to show you the levels, and then I'm going to talk about the problem and solution regarding all step-down transformers. Just hold on here, I got to put this down a minute. So here is the measurement going through the light bulb, 0.18 or 0.17 amps. Now, coming out of the wall here on the red wire, will be 0.21 or 0.22 amps, and on the black one, I gotta put that down. Black one is, yeah, it's the same, 0.2122. So that's worse. More current coming out of the wall than is going into the light bulb. And the wall was, yeah, it's a little less, 0.18, 0.19. Okay, it's not wasting too much electricity. But the problem is, I just shut it off now. The problem is with step-down transformers, they say that when it divides the current by 2, so the voltage, half becomes 1/2 of what it was before at the primary. It causes the current to double or multiply by 2. So that means whatever is going through the load device should be 1/2 coming out of the wall. So we had about if we had 0.2 going through the light bulb, then it should only be about 0.1 coming out of the wall, and I'm getting about 0.21. So that's all due to copper losses occurring in the wires in the transformer. Now here's the magnet wire here from another transformer, and it is probably about 16 gauge. And this red wire and black wire and white wire, they're 12 gauge. And that's the problem. They're using these center wires in the transformer because they take up a lot less space, and they cost less, and the transformer is not as heavy. And of course, they're not as heavy, then they cost less for shipping and to buy them, purchase them. The price would be less. But if they did make them bigger, yeah, they would be much larger. At least twice the size. We wouldn't be able to carry them. We'd have to use a dolly to carry them around, especially down to the basement. So that's why they do this, because of the size and weight and cost. But we used 12 gauge wire. If they make, I'm sure they must make magnet wire at thicker gauges, because there's big transformer companies out there, especially for the power companies, would use them. Then all step-down transformers would be power supply current savers, saving at least 50% on electricity. And they would be very useful in these countries that supply up to 240 volts AC to their customers. And there's more countries in the world that do supply 240 volts rather than 120 volts. Mostly in the East, Europe and Asia and Africa. And if they did this, they'd be able to run 120 volt devices in their buildings instead of 240 volts, and save electricity. And you probably need up to 4 transformers in each building. About 2 or 3 maybe, I don't know, like a residential house, to run all their devices. And even those small 10-to-1 step-down transformers they use for, small devices to go down to 12 volts AC or less, well, those would even save even more, because 120 volts down to 12 volts, that would cause them to save 90% on electricity if they made them larger with the thicker wires. But that would make the device much heavier, but you could buy one separate and then just plug it into it somehow at the input, and that would save a lot. So that'd be very useful. And I'm going to post this video as public on YouTube, because there is a kind of like international emergency right now called the global warming issue. And we need to spread this around as soon as possible, and to the transformer companies, and get them manufacturing these transformers and get them out there, because they will help tremendously. And once you use a big transformer like this, it's around 120 volt device. What about the smaller transformers attached to the device to drop it to 12 volts or AC or whatever they need? Be very, very useful, because it would save even more current. Okay, I know there was a few more things I want to say about it, but if I remember, I'll put it in the description or the comments. Okay, have a good day, and thank you very much for watching.